Hey, it's Mike from the Throttlestop. 1963 421 Super Duty. If you're a Pontiac guy like I am, you're gonna love it. Wait till I tell you some more in-depth detail about why our 63 421 Super Duty is so special. Some of the things that make this particular 421 Super Duty so special is things like the correctness of the entire package. Everything really went above and beyond to try to make all the parts and pieces on this engine correct. Starts in the very front. If you're looking at the engine, you'd see that it's got the correct 4-bolt 1963 water pump, the correct Super Duty pulley, the correct Super Duty balancer. The balancers are very identifiable. Like when you're looking at them, you can definitely see that's a big, different looking balancer than a standard Pontiac balancer. Even things like the alternator bracket is correct. Valve covers, they're very hard to come up with. You guys, if you're looking for some and you find an extra set, send them my way because we don't have any and we're always looking for stuff like this. These are 63 421 Super Duty. The 63s have a little stack, the 62s don't. The pent roof design that's normally on a 309 or 421 is not on the Super Duties. They're flat. So that little elevated area becomes flat. 63 421 correct valve covers. Again, this stuff's hard to find. I always tell people this stuff was hard to find 60 years ago, let alone today. So again, it's cool to be able to pull all the parts and pieces to build something like this. And you're gonna hear it run in a short bit here. Correct intake manifold for a 63. This is where it really gets weird. So there's so many different options that we could have ran with. We could have built this as a 4-barrel, which would have been an aluminum 4-barrel intake. That was ran on, say, like a road race course, like Road America, right real close by here.
The Road America circuit gives all the drivers and their cars a thorough test. Its demanding hills, challenging turns, and high-speed straights require strategy and endurance to win.
Or a 3-barrel, which looks just like the normal AFB, but it's got a trap door on the bottom side, so it's a big 3-barrel. The low-rise 2.4-barrel intake, and then this is kind of considered like a mid-rise 2.4-barrel. This is the 859 intake. And then they even had something as wild as what was referred to as a bathtub intake, which was more of what would look like a tunnel port design. Again, the intake manifolds are so wild and crazy. We went with the very best that you could have in 63 for drag racing, the 859 intake. We love it. It looks great. Correct carbs. Even on a little side note, let me pop this off here for you. So when you're looking for a correct 63 Super Duty carburetor, one of the little first things I look at is in this area here on a non-Super Duty carb, that kind of comes across here farther, almost like a block of cheese or a little slice of cheese, I always call that. Maybe a slice of pizza. Anyways, that is not like that. It's a little square block on the Super Duty carbs. So again, all these little things are kind of hard to come up with and find. The internet's been a big help. Discussion boards like forums and things of that nature and Pontiac stuff helps a lot because you get to learn from guys that were doing the stuff back in that day, the real drag racers, the real road racers, the people that were there. A couple other things on this particular motor. 63 is kind of a transition year. They ran with what's considered, it's a D-port design, but it's the number 127 heads. After that, they ran with a 980 head. The center ports are just a little bit farther apart, so give it just a little bit more oomph, if you will. This particular motor has got massive exhaust manifolds. These exhaust manifolds are made out of aluminum. So they're really lightweight. Saving weight, of course, is better for you at the drag strip or in racing of any kind. This engine isn't Arnie Beswick's engine. However, this will be the exact same style of engine that would have been like in his 63 Swiss cheese Catalina, his 63 Tempest wagon, or his 63 Le Mans coupe, which he did acquire from Mickey Thompson. This was rated from the factory at 405 horsepower. We all know that was really well underrated. Of course, you want to have the better horsepower to weight ratio in drag racing. And so the factories would do that a lot. They would underrate their car's engine just to get a better class. I tell you, growing up, I've always been a Pontiac guy. My parents, my uncles, my grandpa, everybody always had Pontiacs. And when I was first going to the track drag racing, I was able to meet and talk with Arnie at length. I got a great picture of me, a little skinnier then, with me and him when I took my 63 Catalina two-door postcard to the drag strip. Was not this, it was a 389 4-barrel. But I was really proud to run 15 and 16 second quarter mile times, but to be able to sit there and talk with Arnie and just engage with him like he's just like another guy, you know what I mean? And so I was able to build a friendship off of that. And I'm really just happy to have like that in my life where he actually lived and breathed and did all this stuff. I just get to, share about it with you guys and tell some of that stuff. But he's the one that really inspired me and kept me into Pontiacs this whole time. And I do love it. This is just everything I've always wanted and dreamed, was to be able to have this and to see it here before me and be able to hit a couple buttons and let it rip. It's just amazing. All right, enough of me talking about it. Let me fire this thing up for you. I don't know about you guys, but I honestly have goosebumps. This thing is just amazing. Again, 1963 Pontiac 421 Super E. Where else but the Throttlestop are you gonna see something like this? Please always comment, share those stories that you have about this stuff. Again, I'm Mike from the Throttlestop. We are driven by passion.